Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be helping you come up with the layout for your Chaos Space Marine army. Now let's jump in and start talking about it. Now before we get started, I do have a little bit of an announcement to make. Whether you're new here or you haven't watched some of the more recent videos on the channel, as you know, I am partnered up with Lord of Skulls now, and that is the madman that has allowed me to make this amazing creation, which we are still working on. The World Eaters Warhound Titan, gifted to us by our amazing channel sponsor, Lord of Skulls. But today, I'm not just sending you over there to buy some of his awesome World Eaters helmets and other bits, things to make your army look cooler. No, no, no. We have another offer for you guys. We're actually doing a contest for which I will be one of the judges. All you have to do is buy one of the awesome helmet conversion kits specifically for the 8-bound models that Lord of Skulls has made. As you can see, these are what they look like on my models. They are very, very cool. You wouldn't regret buying them anyway, and I have a discount code down below to make that even easier for you. So what I want you to do is, if you're interested in them at all, you like World Eaters, or you just want a fun painting challenge, get yourself some 8-bound, get some of these helmets at a discounted price from me, and then you can enter yourself into an awesome painting competition / converting competition for which I am a judge. Lord of Skulls has put up some pretty awesome prizes, including a $100 gift voucher to his shop to get you some more awesome World Eater stuff, whether it's a helmet for Angron or for your Demon Prince or Terminators or whatever else, as well as some models to then use those bits on, specifically some Loyalist Terminators, which you can then convert into World Eaters ones. So some pretty awesome prizes. The details will be in the post, which I will link down below, but as always, check that out. It helps our channel sponsor, which in turn helps me, because without him I wouldn't be able to make some of these awesome videos. So please go check that out if you're interested, or just in general, take my discount code, go check out their store. They've got a lot of awesome stuff. Now let's get back to the video. So the purpose of this video is, let's call it like a nitpick or a frustration of mine, where obviously all Chaos Space Marine armies can use whatever they want, and obviously you can go in whatever direction you want, kit bashing, making awesome stuff, using whatever chaos models you want. But I really prefer, personally, to see armies with a theme, representing what makes that army special, what makes that army unique, what they're good at, what they're known for. So for this video is maybe more for newer people, or maybe people who don't spend endless hours reading the lore. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some ideas and some thoughts for when you're building your Chaos Space Marine army, depending on which one you're going to pick, be it Iron Warriors, Emperor's Children, Black Legion, etc., etc. So, starting things off in no particular order, let's do the Iron Warriors. Iron Warriors are known for being, on average, much less corrupted than the other Chaos Legions. They're known to actually cut off mutations from their bodies. Generally speaking, although they are still Chaos Space Marines, they do still use the warp and demons and things like that when they do. Physically, much less corrupted than some of the other more twisted legions. So when you're building your Iron Warriors army, it would make sense aesthetically to try and use some of the less warpy looking bits, like when you're building your normal legionaries. Maybe don't use some of the head options that have like horns growing out of the heads and stuff, um, things like that, or like tentacles coming out of the armor and things. These sort of things, that's not really an Iron Warriors vibe. In fact, if you want to make them really cool, where your normal legionaries, you might want to pick up some of the Mark III, especially armor pattern upgrade bits, like the helmets especially, because Iron Warriors tend to be pretty uniform, plain. They don't have a lot of extra stuff on their armor. They are very like militant and organized, especially with even their paint scheme. It's pretty plain. They've got the hazard stripes, but it's not like crazy colors. There's not crazy symbols and stuff all over the place. There might be the odd skull or something, but generally speaking, these are going to be your less chaosy looking Chaos Marines. They also specialize in siege warfare. They like a lot of heavy guns, although they are also known for being very good at making demon engines and having a lot of demon engines with them. But again, less corrupted generally speaking, is their vibe. So what I would do if I was building an Iron Warriors army, I would have a good core of maybe slightly kit bashed infantry, like legionaries. You could have a little bit of cultists, but if you're going to do cultists, I would think maybe more, think like corrupted guard, and again less like mutated looking, just like evil guard, but not like disgusting evil guard. Plenty of tanks. If you want some predators, some vindicators, that would be really good. Havocs, the heavy weapons troopers, very thematic for Iron Warriors. And then for your demon engines, although you could use any of them, I would think that the Defiler, because it looks less organic, is probably the best look for them. And if you're going to use other things, whether it's a Hellbrute or a Mauler Fiend or whatever, you could look at some kitbash options to make it look more like a twisted evil machine and less like a like half organic fusion thing. For example, if you wanted a Hellbrute, you could look at maybe using some old Dreadnought type models and just eviling it up a little bit, add some spikes and some skulls and whatever. And I think that would be very cool. There's a lot of Heresy plastic contemptors going around right now. You could look at getting one of those, eviling it up a little bit. That's a perfect Hellbrute model right there. So for your Iron Warriors, I think that's a pretty solid pick. Also, they could have for characters, you probably would like a Warpsmith, the mechanical looking Space Marine, very thematic. And the Odd Chaos Lord, also some Terminators, quite thematic as well. Maybe a Terminator Lord, but maybe not so often going to be like Demon Princes or Psychers of any kind. Although there might be the odd Psyker. Like it's not out of the question. It's just less common. You wouldn't have a whole army of that sort of thing, if that makes sense. Not so much, not possessed. Obliterators again are apparently an Iron Warriors thing, but they don't fit the vibe so much. But some obliterators I think could look good too as well, especially if you did their skin parts as more like just metal that looks like skin. I think would be a good paint job for them. Now on to our next legion, probably one of the greatest villains of all of Warhammer. We got the Word Bearers. Now the Word Bearers are going to be pretty close to a polar opposite to the Iron Warriors. They are very on board with Chaos. They are the original Chaos Space Marines, and so things like Possessed, Mutants, Chaos Spawn, Sorcerers, Psychers, these things are very on brand for them. So you would like to have plenty of cultists because they love to convert people. If you're doing their normal Marines, get all the mutated bits. Plenty of possessed, plenty of the possessed mortals, Chaos Spawn, and yeah, just in general, that is going to be their thing. And again, contrary to the Iron Warriors, who would be want to be more like rigid and uniform for Chaos Space Marines, these guys you can go all out. You can do extra skulls, extra spikes, war paint, tattoos, flayed skin, cloaks, the whole works. All of that is very on brand for them. And again, whether it's like Master of Possessions or whatever, they would be on board with Psychers. A Demon Prince, again, very thematic for them. So pretty much the total opposite of the Iron Warriors. So again, there's a lot of variety here with Chaos Space Marines. If you're like, I like evil Space Marines, but I don't like the nasty organic shit, Iron Warriors. If you're like, I really like the nasty organic shit, Word Bearers. Now, on to the next one. Now we have what is definitely one of my favorite Chaos Space Marine legions, especially after reading their fantastic book series. We have the Night Lords. The Night Lords are going to fall into that similar vein to the Iron Warriors, where they generally aren't super on board with chaos. As a rule of thumb, they are pretty anti-chaos, like possession and demonic things like that. And they maintain a lot of their original structure. They are the chaos version of a legion like the Raven Guard. They are very hit and run. They're very guerrilla warfare. Although they do have some very thematic Terminators, so you can kind of see how this army would build. If I was building a Night Lord's army, the core I would have a core of some legionaries, backed up by some customized terminators, the Atramentar, that's their special terminators. Maybe get some of the like the Forge World bits or the upgrade bits to make those. Um, and I would have that as kind of the core. They're not known for having a ton of heavy armor, a ton of vehicles, and things like that. Maybe one Hellbrute made of like say a Contemptor or something could be on brand, and then a ton of like infiltrating units. You want your Raptors and your Warp Talons and your things of that nature. Your fast attack, maybe a Helldrake could be cool. Um, and again, you could for characters, a Psyker or two could be fine. You probably don't need a Master Possession because they're really not big on like possessed marine vibes or demonic things, but like a sorcerer of some kind could be fine. Terminator Lord could be cool. Regular Lord perfectly fine. Yeah, I think that pretty much rounds them out. You're gonna want, like I said, a lot of fast attack units, a lot of mostly infantry, not much armor, not much demon engines, some vehicles, maybe some rhinos could work for your infantry to ride in, or a land raider even, but not much in the way of actual demon engines and stuff. That's not really their vibe. Although a Helldrake kind of fits with the fast attack thing, so I think that could work for them certainly. Now we have one that maybe could have its own video of some sort, and that is the Emperor's Children. Now the rumor is, and has been forever, and it clearly makes sense, is that the next Chaos Legion to get their own book and their own separate army is going to be the Emperor's Children. We already have the Death Guard for Nurgle, Thousand Sons for Tzeentch, and World Eaters for Khorne. We need one for Slaanesh. Obviously, it's going to be the Emperor's Children. Now, the question is just basically, do you believe it's going to come this year, or do you believe it's going to be far down the road? And that's the question you have to ask yourself, of whether or not you want to start an Emperor's Children army and then be disappointed when half the stuff gets cut, because that's what happened to a lot of us with our armies. Like World Eaters, for me, almost half my army gone. Now that said, if you do want to have Emperor's Children, you certainly can make a thematic army for them. Obviously, their main defining thing is a couple of their characters. Only one of which that has a model right now, as far as I know, is Lucius the Eternal. So you're gonna want him. They are known for being perfectionists and being they really like dueling and sword. Like if they're gonna be, if you're making melee guys, they should probably have power swords. For the most part, that's kind of like their main weapon. Although there is a famous character with Thunderhammer, and stuff like that. You're gonna want a lot of their Noise Marines with their sonic weapons. I believe they're actually pretty decent in game right now, but that is a unit that they're for sure known for. And then other than that, it's probably going to be like a lot of cultists and a fair amount. I would say they could dabble into like the possessed marine vibe, um, maybe a demon princess stuff, because they've fallen pretty hard to chaos, but they were never known as like a heavy armor legion. Kind of more of like a fast hit and run, very very like when before the fall they were very like noble, very honorable. They were dueling, they were that sort of thing, but you didn't hear about like massed land raider assaults or like huge heavy weapons and such. But I think if you have a core of normal marines, a bunch of the sonic weapons with the noise marines, a decent amount of cultists, and then basically take your pick. Like it would be fine if you wanted to have a couple vehicles. It'd be fine if you wanted to have a few Hellbrutes or other demon engines. Um, but the main part that would make them stand out as noise marines is going to be your sonic weapons and your Lucius the Eternal and that sort of a thing. They don't, until we see more from them in terms of when they get their book, they don't have a ton else that really defines them as like special and unique. The sonic noise weapons and their characters are kind of their thing right now. So you definitely want to like have a couple. I would have a couple big blobs of noise marines. Like don't just do like 5. I would have like 20 or like maybe 30, something like that. And then yeah, very much you could go pretty much anywhere with the rest of them. Now on to everybody's favorite sneaky boys. We have the Alpha Legion. Now the Alpha Legion are interesting, obviously. in that there's actually quite a few ways you could go with them. Their whole thing is that they are very adaptable and they're very unique. Although I would say they do favor more of a like guerrilla warfare hit and run kind of thing. I would think a good amount of like raptors and warp talons and things could be good. You could go wild and you could even use like loyalist marine armor for some or all of the models. You could have some crazy kit bashes in there where you've got like loyalist marine like morphing into an alpha legion guy. Um, but yeah, in general, they're not huge chaos like possession guys, but it certainly happens. Like they certainly do have it. They certainly do have sorcerers and psychers. Um, so Alpha Legion is really more up to you. If I was going to build an Alpha Legion army, I would certainly look at Forge World and some of their unique kits and models. Or I guess Forge World's not even really a thing anymore, but their Horus Heresy stuff to spice them up, make them look a little more special and unique. Some more unique helmets and stuff. But yeah, basically Alpha Legion can kind of use anything. I wouldn't generally associate with them with a ton of demon engines and stuff either. Um, more if I was picturing Alpha Legion, it's less nasty and corrupted stuff. Although there could be some like psychers leading the army, um, generally is what I would think for them. But you really could go just about any way with them and just say it's a different Alpha Legion warband. Now, that leaves us with just the Black Legion. The Black Legion is pretty self-explanatory. They're probably, like, they're the poster boys of Chaos right now. So every model you see can be a Black Legion model. Their whole thing is that they are a mix of everybody. You want to go heavy demon engines, you go heavy demon engines. You want to go with a lot of possessed stuff, you can go a lot of possessed stuff. You want more like bog standard Chaos Space Marines, you got bog standard Chaos Space Marines. They got Abaddon, they got Harkin, they got a couple characters. You want some Terminators, that's all thematic. So they really can be everything that you want. And to a lesser extent, you also can have the Red Corsairs. Now, they're not a full Chaos Space Marine Legion, but they might as well be. Some say that they're are like the second biggest force of Chaos Space Marines after the Black Legion. So they're definitely a big presence of Chaos Space Marines that are, you might as well be a Legion because they're bigger than some of them anyway. And they would be very similar to the Black Legion. Obviously different like paint scheme and different whatever. With them though, I would almost say it would be because they're literally like pirates and they're space pirates. They are more scrappy and more ragtag, and they're more prone to like stealing armor from other loyalist marines and whatever. So if I was doing them, I would really double down on making each marine seem a little unique and a little bit like patchwork. I'd steal bits from like loyalist marines, maybe other different Chaos Space Marine models, smash them all together so that it looks very scrappy and like ununiform. The paint scheme obviously can be uniform, but make it look a little bit more messy, a little, if that makes sense. Like different two different shoulder pads, different styles of helmets and things, different styles of bolters in the same unit. That sort of stuff makes it seem more piratey, more like stolen shit. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. The other Chaos Space Marine Legions already all have their own armies, and their own unique lines and models. So not a whole lot I can add to that. I mean, it's already there. I can make a video of kit bash ideas for those armies, but you don't need help picking the actual units, because they're already there for you. And in some cases, like the World Eaters and the Thousand Suns, they're very limited number of units anyway. You only got like fucking 10 to pick from anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Just a quick one today. I know it's a bit late coming. It's honestly been because I've been working like crazy, and then in my off time, I've been working on the Warhound Titan like crazy. I was trying really hard to get it done for Christmas. I don't know if that's possible, but I'll make you a deal. If the Warhound Titan is not done, and I don't get to do a big reveal video for Christmas, what I'm going to do, and I already threw a poll about this up on the channel, I will lay out every single model that I own, every single army, kit bash project, work in progress thing, so that all you stingy bastards that aren't on the Patreon that maybe haven't seen some of these things yet can see every model that I have, every model I'm working on. I'll lay it all out, and I'll do a big fun. Maybe I'll even do it live. I don't know if I'll do it live, but it'll be like a full collection showcase. I think that'll be a fun video for everybody to see. And yeah, so that's about all for today, guys. Thanks as always for watching. If you want to support the channel, you can. If you want to support the channel for free, like and subscribe. If you want to support the channel for $1, check out the Patreon. You see all my work in progress stuff. You get entered into any little giveaways that I do, and obviously helps the channel out a lot. And you get your name on the Warhound Titan. Forgot to mention that. Anybody on the Patreon, you get your name on the Titan when it's done. And if you want to support even more and maybe win yourself something, go check out the contest hosted by Lord of Skulls. I am one of the judges on it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope to see a lot of fun conversions and paint jobs from you guys. And make sure you use my discount code if you want to enter that and you are planning on purchasing a helmet from him. Adios, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you very soon. Bye.